My name is Feng Cui, and I'm 24 now. And I'm from China, and my home city is Chengdu, where the panda bears come from. So I went to see them a lot, and they're really cute. And I really like where I come from, my home country. And I'm going back home to see the Olympic Games, and I hope it will be all right. The course I'm on now is the Masters for Sport Development Management. The main reason I did it is because I did the undergraduate on sport development, and I really like the course, I really like the staff here, and I really like John Moores University. So I got a first honour degree, which I can choose other university, but I decided to stay here because I really like it. 6 years ago, I finished my Chinese high school in Chengdu, and I was going to go to a Chinese university, but I decided to go abroad to get some other experience while I study as well. So I went on an international foundation course organised by the NCUK. So I did 2 years on English, mathematics and business studies. While doing that, I got the chance to choose one of the universities within the NCUK organisation. I'm quite glad I picked John Moores because I'm doing a sport-related degree in those 17 universities. I don't really have much choice really. So John Moores is one of the 4 universities I can choose, and the only reason I picked it because I just like Liverpool. I like the football team, I like the music, I like the culture, everything about it. Even though I've never been here, but I always watch the televisions and then read papers, read books about it. So I just think it's going to be great. And I finished my course with 2 A's and a B, and I got a scholarship with it, so I'm quite pleased with it. Get on the course, it's kind of different from what I expected. I thought it's going to be a lot of sport orientated, a lot of practicals, but there's a lot of theory studies as well, and I really enjoyed it. And the study systems are very different from China. Get loads of tutorial support, which I really liked. And in the 3 years I was on my undergraduate, I made loads of friends here, and all the staff here are very supportful, very nice to me, and helped me a lot. I finished the course with the first honour degree, which I was really pleased. Apart from that, I got loads of coaching degrees, I got loads of coaching experience, which I can put on my CV now, and it helps me a lot. And then when I was doing my coaching things as well, made loads of friends, and then because I worked with like mid-sized sports, mid-sized youth centres, so I kind of like get interacted with all the children in Liverpool, and I know a lot of local cultures as well. And after that, I kind of know I'm going to do a master's anyway, and I got choices between Liverpool and other universities, but I just thought, well, I just want to stay in John Moores because the staff here are nice, and I really enjoyed the degree, and I saw the options I can have, which are the options I'd like to take anyway. And so now I'm doing sport and health, sport inclusion, sport management, sport development, and my dissertation's on service quality in private fitness centres, which I'm looking forward to get into in the future. The core modules are sport development and sport management and the generic management module, and the options are sport and health, sport inclusion, and I'm doing my dissertation at the moment on service quality in private fitness centres, which I'm looking to in the future. When I first arrived at Liverpool, and I was just really excited. I didn't feel like there's any difficulties.
Sorry, just start that one more time, just because of the vandal.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
When I first arrived at Liverpool, and I'm just really excited, so I didn't really feel any difficulties. I had friends studied here, so I had to chat with them before I came, and I'm just kind of like prepared for what's going to happen. And the first accommodation I was in is by the cathedral, so it got really good view of the city. It's in the city centre, so it's quite easy for me in terms of like shopping and pick up things and organise myself at that point. And I got loads of support from my personal tutor as well, because I told her I never had any experience abroad, so she helped me apart from academic wise with things like internet in my accommodation, get bus ticket and things like that. So I was really happy about it. So yeah, I was prepared myself, but I also get loads of support from here. So I didn't feel any difficulties. Well, the unique things about Liverpool, it's not really a bad thing. It's just not prepared for the accent really. So I just got here. The first month I was like, right, what's people speaking like? Because I was just expecting everyone speak like the Queen. So after like 2 weeks, just get used of it, and it's really nice. Other things are unique about the city, obviously football, and I thought it was going to be big, but and now I realised it's bigger than what I thought. It's like people's life here, so it's kind of really nice because I really like football. I tried a few times to get ticket. It's really difficult because Liverpool is just so popular team. And finally got a ticket. It was against the Fulham at home. So Robbie Fowler's first match came back to Anfield. So it was amazing atmosphere, as I thought, because Robbie Fowler scored as well. It's just a good match. And after that match, I went to the day after, I went to the museum as well, have a look of all the trophies Liverpool got, and watched some clips of Bill Shankly and Bob Paisley and all the great Liverpool players as well. So I just think it's such a unique experience. It's not like a massive stadium like Manchester United. It's a small stadium, but with everyone in it has a passion of football. Everyone in it loved it, and all the Liverpool players just such good players. So I'm really pleased. The accommodation in Liverpool are great, and because Liverpool is a student city, there's a lot of student accommodation around. The types of accommodations you can get are student halls or private rent houses. And when I first came here, I would stay in the student halls near the cathedral in the city centre. It's easy for doing shoppings and things, but it's also easy to get bus to come down to Iron Marsh. But you also can get accommodation in Iron Marsh as well, which is kind of within the little community. It's quite easy to get to there and get to your lectures. Apart from that, there's a few other student halls around in the city centre, and prices are reasonably cheap, and you get like internet, television, all kinds of things, which are very good. My second year, I was in a student hall as well in the city centre, so does my third year. But then when I started my masters, I moved into a private house just off Penny Lane, which is really nice, and because I got a job there, part-time fitness instructor near where I live now, so it's kind of handy for me to just get off the road and get into my workplace, and also walk down here in about 10 minutes to go to my lectures. And leaving the house is great because you have to organize everything by yourself. You have to sort out the bills and clean the house, and you kind of gets more independent and kind of manage yourself well. So it's a good experience. The master's course I'm on now, my favorite thing is the kind of freedom I have when I come to pick what I want to write in my assessment. You get like a general question about what they want, a kind of concept or background, but what direction you want to go, it's like just completely up to me. For example, like the inclusion one, we've been asked to write about kind of inclusion policies in terms of social inclusion and sports inclusion. So in that sense, we can take in any directions of kind of inclusion in gender issues and disability issues, or even broad concept of just inclusion in general. We can talk about things happening in England, in the UK, or just internationally. Any kind of issues we like to pick on, it's up to us. So I kind of like, I can choose what I like to do, which gives me loads of, interest when I write about it, rather than loads of things I don't know what's going on and I just can't help it. About the facilities in Liverpool John Moores University, it's very unique, and unlike most universities, you get a massive campus outside the city centre. In Liverpool John Moores, you get a few different campuses around the city, and every campus has its unique style to fit in with what they're teaching. So, for example, the Iron Marsh, it's kind of just outside the city centre because it got all the sports facilities. unique in its own way. Like the building here, it's all quite not very tall and very wide, with the football pitches and sport pitches behind it, and so it looks really kind of modern, leisure, and the sport kind as well. Get in here, you get the brilliant LRC, which you got all the computers, all the books, journals, newspapers you need, and other learning resources you need for your study. And you also can have the meeting room, quiet study areas, which are great. Get loads of different kind of lecture rooms and seminar rooms and around here as well. And then down to the other side, you get the swimming pool and get the sports hall, which are brilliant facilities, and you got all the kind of other sports equipment you can rent as well. And so it's really unique in a sense. It teaches a leisure, sport and learning and stuff. And then if you go down to the city centre, going to the business school, it's very business-like. You got the modern look LRC with the glass windows and all the business buildings are surround there. And you go into the computer studies campus, you've got all the the technology stuff in there. So in a sense, every little community, every little campus have its own unique style and personality in it, I suppose. The relationships between student and staff here are very different from in Chinese schools, and people are more personal. Sometimes they like friends rather than teachers and student relationship. But in terms of academic, they are very strict, but they are also very helpful. For example, if you're stuck with some kind of coursework and you can just go for tutorials with them, and if they got free time, and they give you whatever help they can give to you if you ask. And however, sometimes you into personal things, you can also go in them to ask for advice. For example, when I did my first coaching qualifications on fitness, I didn't really know what to look at, where do I need to go for, and what kind of price do I need to pay, what kind of company is good. So I went to my personal tutor, and then she did loads of research on the internet for me and then suggested me one of the best. So I was really happy about it. So the staff here, they are very, very nice and very helpful. One of the things with a lot of Chinese students I know is they're quite shy, because the Chinese culture, and sometimes they're quite frightened to ask for help or going to see the teachers, because in China, if you're going to see the teacher, sometimes it means you're a naughty student. So I think the thing is just don't be afraid to ask for help, don't be afraid to see anybody, because when you come here, if you want to be good, you need someone to support you, and the staff are brilliant on that. There's few moments I can say it's my favorite moment. The first one would be when I just came here. It's a lot of excitement, everything's different, everything's kind of strange but fresh. And the first few weeks when I settled down, and then a lot of things happened, and I have to get used of everything's different here, academically, daily life-wise. A second best bit would be last year when I was on my graduation ceremony. It was just great because we had it in the cathedral, and a lot of student parents down there, my lecturers are down there. I got my name shouted and I got up there, and then got my award. So I was really, that's like the highlight of my undergraduate, I think. Another thing is about my life outside the university, because I had a few part-time jobs. I worked in the McDonald's, I worked for the student union, I worked for Midside Sport, Midside Youth Centre, and now I'm working as a part-time fitness instructor. So in that I can get of experience of know some local people, know something you won't like get to know in the university, and I kind of made some friends during that as well. And then last thing is just about doing masters. I think it's just a great experience. I got loads of work experience, and I know people in the industry to build on my life after university, and also things I want to study I can get in a bit more, a bit deeper. So now I think I'm a bit more knowledgeable in what I like to do. So that's, I think, is the experience highlight in 4 years. if somebody come to me and ask me for advice to come to the UK, I would definitely advise them to come to John Moores, because first of all, Liverpool is just a great city. Compared to the other cities, it's quite cheap to live. It's very safe in some sense, and people here are great. They're very friendly, they're very open, and then if you ask for help, people just help you. And life in the city just really colourful. You get all the culture bits. You got the music. The Beatles comes from Liverpool. You got the massive shopping centre just opened, which is very nice. Got the football, and you got other restaurant, bars, pubs, and everything here. So it's really colourful and nice city to live. And academic-wise, John Moores, as far as I know, is one of the best new universities in England, and they put a lot of effort into research and teaching. And here in Iron Marsh is the Centre for Excellent Teaching and Leadership. And so I think academic-wise, John Moores is a very modern and forward place to study. And as I said before, all the staff here are very helpful. They're very student-focused. So if you want to get a good grip on your academic study, the staff here will just support you 100%. I think that's why you come here. You want to study, you want to make friends, and you want to live a good life.